Okay, so I've decided to. Um, Basically, I was off screening gathering dung balls just for the hell of it to finish this quest, and I went ahead and recorded, not with live commentary, so I'm doing post commentary on what happens when you actually give this guy the required dung balls. It seems like for whatever reason, there's specific angles at which you hit him, and it does register, so maybe we could talk to him before. So we're going to give him the noble dung balls. He's got like a beehive helmet. I don't really get it, but he thinks we also like dung balls, and he gives us a soul stone in exchange for the dung balls. Now we give him all the regular dung balls. Guess I'd saved up quite a few of them. We can only give them to him in sets of 5. I guess I just decided I'm going to give him one because I want to save some dung balls for myself. I don't know. He has a grand collection of poop now. He's so excited he could piss himself because this guy's all about the bodily waste. And he says to treasure this as though it were really him, and he gives us his hat. Except that he still has it. But now we have it too. He's so grateful to us that he says he couldn't eat another bite. And there you go. That's it for that quest. Now let me get back to regular Nioh. Alright, folks, we're welcome back to regular old Nioh. No longer feeding someone poop edition. I went ahead and just on kind of a wild compunction from somewhere, respect again. Didn't really. I have done a little bit of leveling up off screen, a couple levels. You can see where we are at level wise. We are now at level 119, so I think we're over leveled for where we need to be. See the distribution, got more dexterity than anything else by a good amount, plus a bit of magic. Couldn't bring myself to put enough points into stamina to use the Champion of the East gear, because pretty much every other set of gear we have, we can use with the stamina of 10. So no role-playing as Tadakatsu. We can cosplay as Tadakatsu, but we can't use his gear effectively. But everything else, I just like stamina is not doing enough other things for us, although it does increase cannon. And one of the things that I just changed, that I'm already second guessing why I did this, I spent my ninja points differently. We no longer have like level 3 toxic ground fire, level 3 poison blister, because I'm not using them as much. We do have level 3 poison shuriken, and we've got level 2 toxic ground fire. I just didn't go all the way up to level 3. Similarly, I didn't go all the way up to level 3 for shuriken. What we do have is we have 1 level of poison resist. We've maxed out our paralysis resist that we can get from the ninja skill tree. And for some reason, I felt compelled to do increased number of cannon rounds that we can carry by 1 and increase cannon damage by 3%. We went through the trees that gives us reduced ki consumed by a dash, just 1 level, and increased running speed, just 1 level. So as I pour more points into dexterity after we've run out of other things we need to level up, so be it, we can get more. But I did get frugality, which enables you to sometimes retrieve projectiles that are dealt the killing shot to an enemy's weak point. So that one is one that will allow us to use ranged weapons a bit more frequently. I did level out quick change all the way, the one that allows you to survive fatal damage and come back, because that one's been a real lifesaver. One thing I didn't do, and we like all the passives, we got a level of the passive. One thing I have not done, which I was kind of curious about, and I guess I should read up on it or something. Oh yeah, our recurrent damage is maxed. And I've maxed out our ninja capacity. But there is a type of scroll that we haven't played with that will... it's around here somewhere. there's one that causes you to basically blow up. Like if you take fatal damage, your body explodes. And I'm really curious as to whether that one works together with the thing that allows you to take fatal damage and then come back. Touch me not, yeah. Cause your body to explode, your health is reduced to 0. So I'm wondering if this will work together with the one that brings you back. I'm not sure. I should read up on that more. But I'm holding 10 ninja skill points in reserve so that we can get the 2 ninja mystic arts as soon as they become available to us. And I'm doing the same thing with Onmyo magic. I want to have the mystic arts as soon as they become available. Onmyo magic layout is slightly different too. But the big thing I changed is how I spent my samurai points. I realized I was seeing other things and realized that, oh man, the points I put into melee mastery kind of feel wasted. I think this exists to give you something to spend those points on later in the game when you've gotten everything you want and you're still getting those points periodically. But I made sure I got the first level of every passive skill that affects you regardless of what weapon you have equipped. So for example, Tonfa has a skill, reduce key damage received by 6% when using Tonfa. I didn't bother to get that. But I got all of the passive ones, like increased grapple damage. This is in effect no matter what weapon you're using. So I got all of those up to the first level, and there's a couple where I got more than one level. Like I got all the key, even though that probably a pretty expensive way to get 2 key, but I did. And I got the one that gives you key recovery speed, because I want to have lots and lots and lots of key. And I've got a whole bunch of these points in reserve because when these mystic arts become available, I want to get the 2 sword mystic arts and Kusurigama mystic arts right away. And there's 7 each, and there's 2 for Kusurigama and 2 for sword, which means basically 28 points, and I don't really have anything I can spend 2 points on. So if once I've actually got those, who knows? If I get a 3rd point, maybe I will find something to spend it on. But even the very first level of this costs you 6. So there you have it. This has changed up my... I'm using all of my points now, but I've got Poison Shuriken. I have fewer poison items than I used to have because I barely ever use Blister Beetle powder now. But I haven't been using Toxic Ground Fire as much. But I've got my Protection Talisman, Sloth Talisman, Change Me Not, Quick Change Scroll. I've also got regular Shuriken, Rejuvenation Talisman. I went with lots and lots of Guardian Spirit Talismans again. Und so weiter. And I got rid of that 4th shortcut set where I was using antidotes and antipyretic needles and stuff because it was just throwing off how many times I had to cycle through to get back to whatever I wanted to use. So we've switched back into ninja gear. I did my off-screening using various other and sundry equipment designed to maximize the off-screen experience. Our Guardian Talisman is Narikama Tanuki because it gives us back half of our Amarita if we lose a bunch of Amarita, so it just seems like a real safe one to have going. I might want to consider using a different one. I could use the one that gives me plus 75 ninjutsu power, for example. But it has kind of a crappy Guardian Spirit Talisman attack. Could be using Shinroku. It doesn't do that much that I'm interested in, but I haven't seen its Guardian Talisman attack. It might be really good. But I'm going to stick with Narikama Tanuki, because I actually know how its Guardian Talisman attack works. And that should be it for now. We should be able to start going on the story again. I guess just to give you a summary of the off-screening, I can show you... done a couple more patronage level things. We eventually want to max out probably the Like, if we're going to do anything fancy with these guys, it's going to be soul matching and stuff. So I've been trying to... I did max out our soul matching discount by just buying all those talismans of... or whatever the reincarnation books are. And then, since then, I've been putting money into reforging cost discount. At some point, I thought it was possible to max out all these things, but once he's got ones that are like 30... it's like, damn, like you have to play through the game several times to do all this. So if there's a trophy to be earned, maybe I've already earned it. Or maybe I lost it by starting in on Murasama's stuff at all, and I could have gotten one by just sticking with Tomei's requests. Not going to bother to go into the hidden tea house, but I bought all the gestures. I bought everything other than like reusable items that's currently available to us from trading in glory. And I still have enough glory that when it becomes unlockable, we should be able to cosplay as Okatsu. And that's about it. So it turns out this becomes the new hotness as far as off-screen leveling, because this is a mission that you can win very, very quickly. I think we did this on screen. Did we? Maybe not. It's a map that we've seen before where there's a wrecked ship. But one of those turtle guys that, you know, the guys who jump over you, and if you take away all their ki, they fall on their backs and become vulnerable. They run away from you. Those guys, we've seen them earlier in the LP. The mission ends when you kill the turtle guy hidden in the level. And there's only 3 different places that I've ever seen them hide, and all of them are places you can get to fairly quickly. There's a couple of enemies to take out along the way, but once you memorize the routes, and it gives you like more than double the XP or Amrita, I guess, that you got from my previous off-screen grinding mission. So, what do I want to say? For those of you watching who know more about the game than I do, who are watching as these go up, if you're watching after the LP is already all recorded and in the can, God bless you. I appreciate people who do that, but I probably don't need gameplay advice anymore. But for anybody who does happen to know, like, you know, I'm going to get the Kusurigama skills. One of them increases damage from the sickle. One of them increases damage from the metal weight. I think this is the technique I use all the time. The up plus strong attack, and you have lots and lots of small hits. I think that's what I use. But what I'm more curious about is, like, some of these, like intensity. Massively boost the damage of attacks that reduce your ki to 0 or below. Massively boost the damage you deal in the yokai realm. Is that axe only? Because the Kusurigama ones are specifically about the Kusurigama. And the Odachi, like the Odachi has passive skills that only affect you if you're using a Odachi per the descriptions. But this says increases ki damage of frontal strike against enemies that are attacking. Reduces ki consumption. See, this one I wouldn't bother to get because it's specific to an Odachi attack. The Tonfa ones, it specifically talks about Tonfa. But like the Spear, launches an opponent who is out of ki into the air and falls up with a series of powerful blows. Oh, no, that's not the Mystic Art, sorry. Spear stance change from any stance. So that one's spear specific. The dual swords was the one I was looking for, sorry. There's a dual sword Mystic Art. Landing an attack reduces the ki usage of subsequent attack. This can be boosted if you land another attack before it runs out. Landing an attack reduces the damage you take for a time. This effect can be boosted if you land another attack. That sounds like it would be useful. It doesn't specifically say you're using a dual sword to get that Mystic Art to work. So if you happen to know if those things work no matter what weapon you're using, let me know. Anyway, lots and lots of talk to start this video, but it is finally time for us to start the main mission, Immortal Flame. Mission level 96, we're well over that, so hopefully this will be doable for us. So you're headed for Fushimi. I wish I could join you, but I'm afraid Lord Ieyasu has forbidden me from helping Master Tori. I wish you both luck. A little bit of chit-chat off-screen, because you guys are caught. As I'm recording this, I don't really have anything in the can saved up. But you guys are... Oh, I gotta pick something with Kodama Sense, don't I? Unless I switch to a spirit animal, it gives me Kodama Sense, which I could do, but... What was I starting to say? Yeah, you guys are fairly current with what's going on to the LP as I record this. If I get a few videos in today, then obviously that will not be the case for too long. But, yeah, Ieyasu is pretty much willing to let this guy die. He's not particularly happy about it, per se. But he's, let's see, this one has Kodama Sense. I just got distracted. I meant to read up on what else it does. But yeah, he's not happy about it. But it's kind of a characteristic of his that he's willing, that he can sacrifice family members and allies to achieve his objectives. This gives me a familiarity bonus. It gives me a bonus versus wind. Yeah, whatever. We know that the only reason I'm equipping it is for the Kodama Sense. I'm pretty sure I don't have any spoilers on this stage. I have no idea what the boss is. Fushimi Castle, just outside of Kyoto, is where Overlord Toyotomo Hideyoshi spent his final days. In the tumult following Hideyoshi's death, Tokugawa Ieyasu took charge of it. But the moment Ieyasu departed on his campaign to destroy Uesugi, Ishida Mitsunari took the opportunity to raise an army. His 40,000 men faced off against the troops of Tori Mototada, whom Ieyasu had left to guard Fushimi. So I don't actually know what's coming in this stage. Some of these stages I kind of had read up about them a little bit, and this one is not one of those. But oh, I guess it's in the middle of, it's actually in the middle of a battle. This is, well, duh, yeah, the whole point of this is that we're coming to rescue this guy. Maybe we'll get his transformation after this, so we can cosplay as him. Oh. Mitsunari's army is demonic. Cool. Yeah, that does seem pretty cheap. Yeah, flesh and blood, mostly. Certainly they're going to find out about that. One thing I forgot to mention, I got on this odd kick last night of... I've been watching speedruns of old games on YouTube. And I got on this odd kick. I watched some speedruns through of like some of the Punch-Out games, which led me to watching a video of all the different things that Aaron Ryan says in Punch-Out for the Wii. So I played Punch-Out for the NES, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, as a kid, and I played Super Punch-Out for the Super NES many years after that, but I never played the Wii version. So for me, Aaron Ryan was a really kind of dull and unremarkable character in the SNES game. But the Wii version of Aaron Ryan is pretty freaking crazy, and he also has this cheesy Irish accent, so I may be saying some Aaron Ryan quotes or making our hero here act a bit more like Aaron Ryan than he did in previous videos, because I got Aaron Ryan on the brain. Fighting's like bread in yokai. You got cheeseburgers in your glove, have ya? Yeah, a lot of what Aaron Ryan says doesn't make that much sense. So I'm going to go with it's easy to get set on fire in this stage, and that you probably want to avoid that. Maybe it's important. Yeah, while you're doused with water, too. Oh, shit. Right off the bat, I didn't switch over to the Surigama like I meant to. Yeah, not off to a great start here, huh? Should have put some horseshoes in my gloves. I think I was thinking that it would be a good idea to charge that guy immediately, or charge through the flames while I was still I guess I thought it would be a good idea to charge through the flames while I had the water thing going, but I see that doesn't kill him, which is a shame. Oops. Alright, let's get back that little bit of Amarita that I started the stage with from playing around last night. Oh, last night I went ahead and got the, while off-screening, I got the titles for winning a level without armor, winning a level without a Guardian Spirit, and beating that big giant jelly boss without lighting the warning torches. I got them all at the same time with one battle, so that was fun. Took a couple tries even with my over-leveled state, but I got to where I could actually take him out with his little minions hanging around. What the hell's going on? Oh, I changed my stance without meaning to. I was like, why are all my attacks suddenly different? So I'll still be, like, yeah, like, I want to get to a point where I can actually use cannon armor. Because it seems like, cannons actually do receive, like, bonus from your dexterity score, which means like ninja cannoneer would actually be a legitimate build that might be fun. Like all the passives that boost cannons, plus the thing where you get armor or ammo back periodically, and then run away from stuff and shoot it. Like it seems it would be difficult for that to be effective against bosses, but not impossible, you know. There's probably some bosses where it'd be very hard. The ones that really move around fast. Alright, so it looks like strategic use of these water barrels to become immune to fire is going to be a big part of this level. Did you just blast a hole somewhere where I can now get at you? Oh, I was always able to get here? No. I'm reminded now at the very beginning of this game where you could sometimes... Are you some kind of exploding guy? But I'm reminded of the first level of the game where there was fires you could put out permanently as a part of... okay, well, how am I supposed to get in there? There's obviously loots in there. Looks like I took the wrong path. Looks like I chose the wrong party to crash. But yeah, you can permanently put out fires and clear paths, but... Well, you guys are really behaving as though I'm sneaking up behind you, and that this was the path the game kind of expected me to take. Still finding Way of the West stuff all this time later. Not paying close enough attention to the Sultan Leda, and I'm thinking I'm already really annoyed with all the fire. Like, this just seems like it's going to be an irritating level that I'm not going to want to be revisiting, so I'm really going to want to get the Kadama on the first path if I can. Who knows, once you know the layout of the place, it might be quite simple, but it seems like it's going to be a pain in the butt. Alright, well, there's, there's a Kadama. Boy, getting on the exterior walls might be handy in this level, but doesn't look like that's a thing. They're just there to form the borders of the level itself. I'm tired of dealing with all this fucking fire. I'm a ninja. I'm a practitioner of the proud nature art ninjutsu. That's what I am. See, there must be a way to get in there because there's a treasure chest in there. It'd be one thing if it was all... Oh, well, here you go. It's not really that complicated, JG. Making a bit more of it than there really was. I was thinking you'd come back here, drop through the ceiling. Nope. Just pay attention. Dama. Yokai incense. Lovely. Makes enemies come towards you. It's not been a problem in this game generally to get enemies to attack you. So it seems like sometimes these flame paths lead you to coming up behind where enemies are arranged to shoot at you with rifles, which is cool. But I'm imagining that to get all the Kadama, eventually you're probably going to have some little corners of the world that you wouldn't go to without flaming your way past them. It's not be the bird on that pendant. What are they doing here? Waiting for somebody to start shooting at me as soon as I turned around that corner. See, that was a big barrel, but it was a background barrel. It was too big to be one of the regular fire putting outing barrels. Alright, well there's something over here. Don't know if it's a Kadama. Oh, there is a Kadama there. Can I get to him? Sort of. I'm going to be able to get somewhere here, yeah. Sneak up behind this guy and finish him off. Still have my watery status going, but wasn't sure that it was needed there. Could have used it to sneak there without fighting that guy. But it wasn't essentially necessary to climb up onto the roof to do this. It was just a thing you could do. So unless there's an entrance to that building on the fire side, which there doesn't seem to be, there's probably no point in messing with that. So let's get back to navigating our way through this maze of fire. I went down in a burning maze of fire. It was confusing and it was made of fire. And it burned, burned, burned. That maze of fire. That maze of fire. Sorry. That didn't quite work. You got cheeseburgers in that barrel, have you? Have you, Yokai? Have you, Revenant? That's no fear. I snuck up on you for sure, I did. I know I did, you bastard. Ah, great. You're going to be throwing rocks, are you? Why don't you have a go if you think you're man enough? If you think you're hard. Frickin' Revenant. You think you're hard, do you? Setting fire to an impenetrable castle. I don't think Zerfall watches this series, but if he did, this is what 90% of the last couple of videos we've recorded are all about. In this case, the ninja didn't set fire to the castle. He's trying to navigate to a castle that was presumably set ablaze by another ninja. Oh, I see you there, Pally. Oh, yeah, that felt good right there. I enjoyed that, so I did. Good, I didn't want to get the water status attribute there. I would have felt like it was a waste. Fighting's like breathing, revenants. My sister hits harder than you. Und so weiter. See, I could hit this and get the water status thing, but I don't know then where I would want to go while it was still in effect to avoid it being wasted. So maybe if I search around a bit and find some fire, like I could run through here. Honestly, what keeps happening is I keep finding places where I could run to the other side, but then I haven't scouted it, so Lord knows what enemies I'm going to find once I do that. Come on through the... Oh, damn it, he's not coming through the fire. But he's coming through a different fire. So that may have been a waste of a poison, but... I didn't get poisoned. They did get poisoned. Now I'm on fire, which seems less than advantageous. This guy's certainly going to follow me until he's dead now. Yep. I didn't want to... Once I dropped that poison, I didn't want to waste it, even if, with hindsight, probably getting him to run through a bunch of fire and then letting him pick up damage that way would have been just the thing. Okay, guy with a cannon. So it seems like going through that bit of fire there would be pretty advantageous, but we've just come across what really needs to be the end of the video. Alright, folks, I'm going to try to cobble together something with finding the dung balls and the rest. And when we come back, we will go charging through fire, but the fire won't be able to hit us because we're wet. That's how that works, isn't it? I'm the Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. And remember, dampness is your key to surviving any fire. Bye-bye.